You think you're taking your wedding business into 2026, but some of y'all are packing baggage that absolutely cannot come with us. Today, we're drawing a line in the sand. We're calling out the habits, the excuses, and the industry icks that are quietly killing your revenue. The stuff no one in the wedding world wants to talk about because it's easier to blame the market or blame the economy, the algorithm, anything but the actual root cause. This episode is your business intervention. No fluff, no coddling, no trust the process fairy dust. We're burning down what needs to stay in 2025, and we're taking only the strategies that actually make you money into 2026. So let's get into it. The 2025 icks that we're burying aren't cute. They're cash flow killers. So let's talk about what those are. Ick number one is the I don't have time lie that you're telling yourself. The reality check is that you do, but you're spending it on doing the wrong things. So many of us live in our inbox, our emails. We wake up first thing, jump in your inbox, and you seem to never get out of it. So that to-do list that you made the night before, still sitting there unchecked because you let other people steal your time. You're also saying yes to way too many things, too many networking events, too many people that just want a few minutes of your time, too many clients who ask for a quick 5-minute call who never paid for that. You've got to understand that your time is the most precious resource that you have in your entire business, and you have to protect it like you're never going to get it back because you aren't. Time is not renewable. You only have the 24 hours today that you have today, and they go away. So how are you spending your time? And is it actually moving the needle in your business? If your calendar is full, but your bank account isn't, you are prioritizing the wrong things. In 2026, let's stop saying, I don't have time, and let's just call it what it is and say, that's not a priority to me. I promise it will reframe your mindset about where you spend your time. Ick number two, and this one has to die in 2026, is sending a proposal after the call. The brutal truth here is that delayed proposals equal lost revenue. And you guys, I feel like for the last 3 years, I have screamed this from the rooftop. I swear in almost every podcast episode, YouTube video, social media post that we make, I somehow work in stop sending proposals after consults. And yet here we are, people drop into my DMs every single day and say, I don't understand why I keep getting ghosted. I send a proposal and then nothing. And I'm like, that is exactly the problem. Here's the thing. When you do a consultation and then instead of talking about price, instead of talking about the service, instead of telling them exactly how you're going to serve them on the day and the next steps to be able to lock you down for their wedding day, you are missing an opportunity to handle objections in real time. What you're doing when you send a proposal is requiring a couple to sit with you for 30 to 45 minutes, talk all about their day, and then have to wait for you to make time to send them a proposal that then they have to take time to review. And then they don't have an opportunity to go over objections with you because someone else already closed them during the consultation. Your fear of sounding salesy is losing you sales because you are not taking the opportunity during that consultation to lead them to exactly how you are the best pro for them and exactly how much that's going to cost. When you handle objections right there during the consultation, your closing rate will go up. I promise you. I've seen it hundreds of times inside of our programs with our students because they finally understand that when you're leading someone to a decision, when you're telling them exactly how you're going to serve them and you're handling the objections right there in real time, that is not salesy. That is leading with confidence. And our couples value this so much. Sending proposals after the consult is the 2025 equivalent of leaving money on the table and hoping it crawls back on its own. Do not take this one with you into 2026. Okay, the third ick that we are getting rid of in 2026 is the overly aesthetic Instagram grid. Now, don't get me wrong, we work in an industry that is very visual. So I'm not telling you to just post gross pictures that took you no time from your iPhone. I'm not telling you to do that. But what I am telling you is that so often we get stuck on making sure that our grid is pretty, that it's aesthetic, that it all goes together, that we either one, get too afraid to post because it might not be the perfect one. And two, those pretty posts have no strategy behind them. We're so concerned with what it looks like that we forget that our Instagram is actually a powerful sales tool that we need to use as top of funnel to bring more people into our funnel and lead them through exactly how they're going to move through the process to get to work with us. So every single time that you're posting, you need to be thinking about, does this post actually move someone closer to being able to work with me? Or is it just a pretty post that people might double tap, but then scroll by? Pretty posts do not pay your taxes. If your grid looks stunning, but your bookings are down, congratulations. You've built an art gallery instead of a lead machine, and we're leaving that in 2025. Ick number 4 might be the most controversial one on this list. I always catch so much hate when I post about it on social media, but we're going to go all in and say, if you are still hiding your pricing, if you are not putting your pricing out there publicly, if your pricing scares you, it'll scare your clients too. Here's the thing. We say way too often, if I put my pricing out there, it's just causing price shoppers. If I put my pricing out there, my competitors will know what I'm charging. And I say to that, who cares, right? Here's what we don't want to do. We are not asking you, we're not telling you to put a menu of pricing out there like you're McDonald's. We are not McDonald's, okay? We are a premium service and we need to act like it. However, our couples are planning this event for the first time in their life, most of the time, and they have no idea what things cost. And so having to reach out to 10, 15, 20 vendors just to get pricing, and 90% of those vendors say, oh, let me get you on a phone call before I'm even gonna give you an idea of the ballpark we're talking about, they're not gonna do it. No one has that kind of time. They're frustrated and they're exhausted and they're gonna move on to somebody who gives them the information that they need to make a buying decision right away. So what does this mean for you? In 2026, if you do not currently have a range of pricing, a starting pricing, an average pricing on your website or in your social media, easy for leads to find it, you need to go do that right now, because gatekeeping your prices isn't strategy. It's honestly an insecurity because you're afraid of what other people will think. And that's not how you become one of the top 1% of businesses in your market. Ick number 5 is that faceless, personality-less business. In 2026, Gen Z and younger millennials want to know who you are. They do business with people that they know, like, and trust. And when they can't understand who you are and what you value and what you do and what your personality is behind the brand, they're going to bolt. They're not even going to stop on your profile to learn any more about you because there's nothing there for them to find out, right? You've got to stop hiding behind the logo. You've got to stop hiding behind the pretty real weddings that you're putting out on your Instagram feed. Those are important. Those are helpful, but you've got to pepper in the personality. No longer do people want to do business with a logo. For those of you who are choking and like, I don't want to expose my entire personal life. Guys, listen, that's not what we're here to do. I don't need to see everything you do every day. I don't need to see every meal you eat. I don't need to see every single thing that takes up your day. But what I do want to see is more about what it looks like to build your business, what it looks like to manage your team, what it looks like to prep for a wedding, what it looks like to onboard a new client, all of those things that our clients want to see. They want to know what it's like to work with you and they want to understand your personality. A faceless business is a forgettable business. So we're going to leave that faceless business back in 2025 and starting today, you, my friend, CEO, are going to go and make some videos that show your face and show your process. And most importantly, show your expertise. These are getting juicy, right? So ick number 6 is saying yes to every inquiry. Now, this one gets easier the longer that you've been in business and the easier it is to spot the red flags. But what I want you to understand is that just saying yes to every inquiry, especially we do this when sales might be down a little bit and you're like, let me just say yes. Let me just take that one. Let me just discount. Let me just get within their budget. Every misaligned client costs you so much more than they pay you. Every single one. And we all know this, right? In the moment when you're booking it, you're like, it's fine. I'll make it work. But then all of a sudden you now have to service that client and they are so misaligned with you that it ends up costing you more time because you're working outside of your normal flow. And it costs you honestly so much of your mental clarity and sanity that it takes away from your ability to focus on finding those right clients, finding where those aligned leads are hanging out, and being able to really focus on your sales strategy. The thing is, every yes has a cost, and some of you are literally going broke on your yeses. Ick number 7 really goes along with ick number 6, and it's discounting out of fear. And I know, I get it. You guys, trust me, I've been there. And I even still to this day, sometimes will be like, what if? Should we discount? Should we make this work? And the answer is no. And I've been in business long enough at this point to understand that every single time we discount for a client, we end up hating working with that client because it puts the balance out of order. Now, I'm not saying that you always have to be in power, that you always have to be the one driving the bus as the business owner. But when you hand that power over to the client and say, yes, we're just going to take it, they immediately have a lower amount of respect for you. And they are then holding the cards and they start to pull every single thing that they possibly can out of you. And it will become such a challenge for you as you're working with this client. Discounting is a tax you pay for lacking confidence. When you're confident in your pricing, when you understand why you charge what you do, you will be so much more confident in saying, this is our price. And yes, we may be more expensive than someone else that you're looking for, but here's why we're worth it. And you need to be able to explain that out loud to every single lead that you talk to. If you discount just to close, you're training your market to negotiate your value down. And we are leaving that behind in 2025. The number 8 ick that we are leaving behind in 2025, and none of you should be surprised by hearing this one because you know how much your girl loves the data. And number 8 is not tracking your numbers. We are leaving that behind. It's gone. We are not doing this anymore in 2026. In 2026, you are going to understand your data so clearly that you can spit it off at a moment's notice. Here's what I need you to hear, CEO. You cannot fix what you do not measure. And way too many of y'all drop into my DMs and you say things like, my leads are down. I feel like everything's slow. I'm not making enough sales. And when I ask you how many leads that you get every single month, you have no idea. You cannot fix your sales funnel if you don't understand where the leak is coming from. It's no different from being in a boat, knowing your boat's taking on water, but having no idea where the hole is. You simply can't fix it and you're going to sink. Treat your business the exact same way. If you want to make sure that you're not going to sink, figure out where the leak is, and you can only do that by tracking your numbers. If you don't know your lead count, your conversion rate, or your capacity, you're not running a business. You're running on vibes. And please, for the love of all things, can we leave vibes behind in 2025 and start running our businesses like legit businesses? Number 9, we do this all the time when you raise your prices, especially. I cannot tell you how often I see this. A wedding pro will say, okay, I'm going to raise my prices. I'm doing it. I'm so excited. I'm in it, Brandy. I heard you. I'm going to do it. And then all of a sudden they start over delivering. They're like adding 30 bullet points to their services. And I'm like, whoa, what are we doing? What happened? Now we're just misaligned again. When you're over delivering, it's coming from insecurity and it's causing unpaid labor. You're literally delivering services that you're not being paid for. We want to think about our services like a cheese pizza. When you go to Domino's or Pizza or your favorite local pizza joint and you order a cheese pizza, you're ordering a cheese pizza because that's what you want, right? And you're expecting it to be hot. You're expecting to have cheese, sauce, maybe a nice crust. You're expecting it to taste delicious, and it should, but you didn't pay for toppings, nor are you going to get them just because the business owner is like, oh, I feel really bad for charging them $20 for this cheese pizza. I think I'll just throw supreme toppings on it. That's not how it works. And you are better than a pizza place. So stop delivering like you're just going to give away all the free things. If your client comes in and orders your base package, deliver the best freaking base package that they have ever expected. Be amazing at it. Deliver exactly what you said you were going to, but nothing else. They didn't pay for it, so stop over delivering just to make yourself feel better. If your client experience requires your martyrdom, it's not a client experience. It's literally self-sabotage. In 2026, we're going to have systems, boundaries, and clear deliverables so that we feel confident in what we're selling and the client is excited about the experience that they had working with you. Okay, the last ick that we're talking about here in this episode is comparing your business to everyone else's highlight reel. Now, we all do this, so have a little grace with yourself if this is where you are, especially here towards the beginning of the year. We had 2 full weeks at the end of 2025 where I feel like I know personally, I scrolled on social media way more than I ever have, I think in like my entire life, because you're opening presents and then you're kind of like sitting around and everybody's in their jammies for an unending amount of time. And so comparison fatigue can set in and it's real. I understand that. But comparison is a distraction dressed like research. We say that we're going to scroll Instagram for ideas or to understand what other people are doing. But instead what you're doing is comparing yourself. And that comparison sneaks in the most unhealthy ways. Not only does it give you a mindset to make you feel like you're never doing enough because you're only seeing their highlight reel, but it also starts to make you think, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that. And all of a sudden you have the most confusing service offerings that you don't even know exactly what you're offering anymore because you've hodgepodged it from a bunch of other people's chaos. Stop doing it. There's nothing I've done better for my mental health than muting 98% of my competitors. And that goes for both Blush and Wedding Pro CEO. I think that having a healthy healthy mindset and understanding what you provide in the market, understanding how you help people transform, how you are going to deliver someone's most amazing wedding day in whatever area of the market it is that you serve. Do it so well that you are so proud of it that you don't even want to compare yourself to the competition any longer. I'm telling you, please, if you heard none of the other icks from this episode, hear me when I say mute the competition. Honestly, I even mute friends sometimes because they can make me get in my head about, am I doing this well enough? Are they doing this better than me? Oftentimes, muting is not about what someone else is doing wrong. They're not doing anything wrong. Sometimes we think when I mute somebody, that means that I don't like them. That's not true at all. It's for your own health and the sake of your mental health in your business. Being a business owner is hard. We have enough things running through our head all the time. The comparison fatigue is not one that we need, and we can easily handle this by simply muting people that make us get in our head. You can't benchmark your way to a 7-figure business by stalking your competitors' reels. You have to understand, what is it that I need to do? What is it that I deliver? What makes me unique? And then go after that. Here's the truth most wedding pros won't say out loud. 2026 isn't going to magically be your breakthrough year. You either change how you operate or you repeat the same cycle you swore you'd never go through again. The market is louder. The buyers are smarter. The margin for error is smaller, but the opportunity is massive if you stop dragging 2025 thinking into a 2026 economy. So CEO, if you're listening to this and you're doing something else, I want you to come back to me right now and listen closely. Are you building a business that scales, or are you babysitting a business that drains you? If you're ready to leave behind the excuses, the busy work, the outdated habits, and step into a version of your business that actually grows, I want you to book that gap assessment. Take a bet on yourself. Jump on a call with my team. Let us dig into your business. Let us show you what are the gaps in your business that are keeping you from scaling here in 2026. Because this year, we're not playing small. We're running real companies, and the wedding pros who treat it that way will dominate the market. CEOs, thank you so much for being here for this episode. If you found this episode valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe button because we share new content every single week to help you grow and scale your wedding business. And I want you to get those notifications so that you can get the content that you need to make 2026 the best year yet. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you on the next one. Love you. Okay. Let me try that one more time. Number one. How about this? Hang on. Go back to where I said,